Well, it seems like Red Bull messed up big time during the Bahrain Grand Prix. We had Max Verstappen looking pretty strong running in P2 just behind the race winner Charles Leclerc, before a mechanical failure ended his race.
Max Verstappen is out of the race!
A mere seconds later, Checo Perez DNF'd, also suffering from a mechanical failure. Not to mention that the fact Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri decided to burst into flames. Well, all we can gather from this is that it's not looking good for Red Bull, and specifically their Red Bull powertrains. Now, these are technically still Hondas, as they're serviced and provided by Honda themselves, but nevertheless, it still ain't looking good for the charging bulls. Now, we could be seeing a repeat of the 2018 season, where Red Bull were plagued with reliability problems all season. This is probably one of the main reasons Daniel Ricciardo left the Red Bull outfit for Renault in 2018. Daniel had 8 DNFs over the course of a season. Now, how will this year's powertrain compare to the others? Well, obviously there is the Ferrari runners with the likes of, obviously, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo and Haas. These guys seem blisteringly quick today, and I won't be surprised if they're always in the points and maybe we see the likes of Haas going for podium. Then there's Renault. Now, obviously there's only one team running this engine, and that's Alpine. Now, these guys seem relatively strong during the race. They finished P7 and P9, which is a pretty good points haul for the team. Then there's the Mercedes engines. These guys seem like the worst, besides the unreliability of the Red Bulls. The bottom 6 finishers all had Mercedes power units, and the Mercedes team themselves got lucky. But it seems like the Aston Martin are the new Haas, and Haas could possibly be the new McLaren, with being third in the standings right now. But what's gone wrong for Mercedes power unit? They've dominated for the past 8 years, and now nothing. I mean, all I can say is that this was George last year.
For him, he's in 9th position, which for a Mercedes driver is nothing. You know, he needs to be fighting for victories and podiums every single race.
And now look at Bottas out-qualifying him in an Alfa Romeo, who yes, has a Ferrari engine. So is Bottas actually a way more capable driver than George? Or is there something else at play here? Well, obviously there is. I mean, we have an ex-Mercedes driver who is now in a better Ferrari engine car, outperforming his old team. This could be a fascinating inner duel. So from an engine point of view, and in retrospect for this season compared to last, Aston Martin of a new Haas, Williams of a new Alfa Romeo, and McLaren of a new Williams. I guess it could be interchangeable. I guess Williams could be the new Williams, I don't know. Haas could be the new McLaren. Mercedes could be the new Ferrari, scrapping for 3rd place, and then I guess Red Bull or Mercedes will probably come 2nd, unless every race is like Bahrain and they DNF all the time. Okay, now that I've waffled on a bit about the engines and stuff like that, let's talk about the winners and losers from the Bahrain Grand Prix. So I decided to team up with trainee motorsport journalist Eduardo Stella. Here are his 3 winners and losers from the Bahrain Grand Prix.
For the losers, in 3rd place, I just have to put McLaren. We're talking about a team that last year scored 16 points in this race alone. Now, it looks like they may not even finish the season with 16 points. They found themselves as backmarkers, and the only positive note can be that they finished the race. They made such a huge step back. Why did I not put them any higher then? Well, as for the overall picture, they're probably the biggest losers, but for this race alone, there was not much more they could have hoped for. 2nd place, Red Bull and the Honda runners. The only non-finishers of the race were all fitting a Honda power unit. We clearly saw Gasly's car end up in flames, Verstappen losing a podium to power issue, and Perez having another problem of some sort. And whilst the retirement may not be engine related, he did lament issues throughout the race. Red Bull, well, they walked away with 0 points. That's a big blow as they potentially lost a double podium finish. First, well, the biggest loser is Max Verstappen. It's an obvious answer, but we did see last year how 18 points could have made such a huge difference in terms of the championship. Verstappen was set to finish in 2nd, which would have been okay, but now he finds himself already 26 points behind Leclerc. And this is not good news considering Ferrari looked to hold the upper hand. And let's be honest, a retirement so late in the race is such a big blow.
I couldn't agree more. McLaren took a massive step back, and as mentioned earlier, the Red Bull powertrains were awful. The only thing I would add to this list is Aston Martin. Yes, they did seem to be on the decline in 2021, but still, we don't usually see Stroll qualifying P19. But overall, a dreadful race for Mercedes power units.
The winners. With a special mention to Lewis Hamilton, who was probably not expecting to finish on the podium and so comfortably ahead of Russell, I would put in 3rd position Team Alfa Romeo, a double points finish for them. Wow, it's the first time since Imola in 2020. If anyone told Bottas that he would qualify in front of his replacement at Mercedes, Russell, and he would finish 6th on the first race, he would probably have laughed at their face. Despite a poor start, he got 8 points in the bag, and let's not forget about Joe. First weekend, difficult qualifying but very good race and a points finish. Second place goes to Kevin Magnussen. Well, I am quite frankly lost for words. Not only has a very quick, but Magnussen was just so good. He's a double winner because 2 weeks ago he wasn't even meant to be here. Now he finished as best of the rest with a car that hadn't scored in 28 races. Finally, first place. Well, there can only be one answer. Given they eventually got a 1-2, it's got to be Ferrari. They were challenged all throughout and didn't look set to walk away with 44 points, despite their win not being in danger after the restart. Well, Leclerc won the race, Ferrari's first in almost 3 years. Sainz finished second and they scored a 44-0 against Red Bull, who looked like their only possible rivals.
And once again, I can't argue with these. I mean, if you showed me the constructors' standings after this race back in Abu Dhabi, I would never have believed it. But I guess here we are. Thanks to Eduardo for coming on, and be sure to check out his podcast and TikTok, all linked below. Now, if you have enjoyed the video this far, please do consider subscribing. It's free, only takes a few seconds, and you can always unsubscribe later if you want. I'm trying to build the best F1 community there is out there. And if you want to help me do that, leave a like and comment your winners and losers from the Bahrain Grand Prix. And with that said, I'd like to thank you for watching. I've been Connor, and I'll see you later. Bye.